I'd like to welcome Reiko Chinen with us here today, talking about what's happening with her day job. But before we get to her day job, I'd like to introduce just some of her credentials. She's an IWF Category 1 technical official. She's a proud member of the IWF Technical Committee. And her day job is she's the manager of weightlifting for the Tokyo 2020 Olympics. Reiko, thank you for taking the time to talk with us.
Thank you very much, Richard, and good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all who are listening to this. Thank you very much.
Wherever you are around the world. Now, tell me, you were brought on years and years and years ago to try and develop the weightlifting for the Olympics, and then everything came to a harsh stop. What was the first thing that crossed your mind when you heard that the Tokyo 2020 Olympics were being postponed?
Of course, COVID-19 programs, this is not the problem only in sport, but globally for everybody. And if we think about our sport, my first mind, not for us, not for the officials, not for the organizing committee, but for the athletes. And if I think about the athletes, I totally speechless because I feel a lot of emotion and sympathy, how tough days they are facing. It's not be able to compare with any of us.
Yeah, each one of these athletes has, with the new IWF qualification system, has worked very hard over an 18-month period to put results in the first, the second, and the third, and just get ready for this. And then this happens, and now they've got to start essentially from scratch, pretty much with a new qualification system that the IOC has just approved the other day. What is involved at your end? What do you have to do, because there's no blueprint for this. There's no other weightlifting manager that you can call from London or from Rio or from Beijing who has had to deal with a 1-year delay. What were the kinds of things that you had to deal with? Securing of equipment, securing a venue, making sure that your people will still be in place. What were the things you had to deal with?
Maybe I should explain about some background story.
Please.
It was 24th of March of this year, the postponement was decided. It was the joint decision among the IOC and of course Tokyo 2020 and our government.
Yes.
Then since that, the IOC and Tokyo started discussion and formed the joint steering committee.
Okay.
There, a lot of policies are decided, and because postponement cost a lot, not only for us, also for the IOC. Maybe you read some news about that. Therefore, both parties decided to have some policy for simplify the games.
Okay.
And even before the postponement was decided, IOC started to encourage us to cut the budget. Because as you know, in the past, many cities wish to have the Olympic Games and they are competing each other to beat the Olympic Games. However, because the Olympic Games cost a lot, many cities are withdrawn or having a referendum and decided to withdraw, especially for the Winter Olympic Games. So the IOC started to set up a kind of policy. It's Agenda 2020, they said. A part of that, this kind of policy was made. So even before the postponement, we needed to think over how to lose the budget for Olympic Games. This is maybe for Tokyo, but for me, this is for Olympic movement.
Yes.
So then after that, those parties, I mean the IOC and the Tokyo 2020 decided to simplify the Olympic Games to lose the cost.
Now, how will
So,
that simplification be manifest in, will somebody sitting in the stands at the Tokyo International Forum watching weightlifting, if they sat in the stands in London, if they sat in the stands in Rio, will they see a difference? Or is it all just behind the scenes, as it were?
about that, IOC is requesting us nothing to be changed for the athletes because the most important is the athletes and they respect the field for the athletes to shine.
Perfect.
And also the IOC, together with athletes, they are respecting how the OBS, Olympic Broadcasting Services, is shooting.
Yep.
So the look of the games will be same on TV, but for the city, maybe some banners will be less, like that.
Okay.
And the sport equipment is, of course, necessary things for us, so no change.
Okay.
No change for athletes, no change for the technical officials, but some of the employees need to leave the Tokyo 2020. Maybe the games times they will come back,
Okay.
but currently number of the employees a little bit less than expected.
Okay, we're almost running out of time. What has been the biggest challenge? If you could just name one challenge that you've had to face because of this transition, because of this change of dates, has it been? I don't know what it is. What is the biggest challenge you faced because of this change of games?
Okay, the biggest challenge for me is people, especially for some volunteers and also some national technical officials such as loaders.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them are fourth grade of university currently. So they are graduating. We are searching currently who can continue and who cannot continue. And of course, in this current pandemic situation, they themselves do not know their near future 1 year later. They are trying to find some job who is understandable for Olympic Games, but who knows? So this is my biggest challenge.
Thank you for taking the time to talk to us, Reiko. Best of luck with Tokyo 2020, and we appreciate all your help.
Thank you very much.